So there is a history of severe sleep apnea on my father's side of the family, which I apparently inherited. And then on top of that, I was put on quite a few very powerful psychiatric medications that I never needed, at the behest of my mother, who just absolutely had to have control over me, did not like my narrative of speaking up against her abuse. And so between those two, I believe that's what led up to it. And really, the near-death experience itself, I wouldn't say is just an overwhelming kind of story. And I say that because it happened while I was asleep at home. So my NDE, in a way, is very short and not overwhelmingly spectacular, because I didn't have that time for my body to be kept alive while I was going through this experience. During my NDE, I remember falling asleep. The window was slightly open, and I lived in a bedroom community / farm town. So I heard the cows and the horses in the fields, and once in a while the train would go by. It's something that to this day I'm starting to miss. And as I started falling asleep, finally losing the battle in my mind against everything, the overthinking, I remember I was dreaming, and it stopped abruptly. There was this bright white light that came down, and all I really remember is levitating. And the feeling, the emotion that I got, it was one of absolute love and acceptance and peace, something I hadn't known in this lifetime. I was looking around, there's these prisms of colors that the human eye it can't perceive, and it's blissful. And I was rising up, and my right hand was going up towards the apex with my left arm by my side. And just before I got to the apex, I heard my brother's voice on the other side. He had died just a couple weeks before I turned 10. And at this point, I was 17. I still miss him. We had a special relationship. And he told me that it wasn't my time yet, that I had to go back. I didn't want to go back. And obviously I'm still a little emotional about it, even though I'm in my 40s. I remember this force pushing me backwards, and I remember screaming, no, just no, going back to that life where you're not wanted, where you're the black sheep, the scapegoat, even if you're not even in the same location. Whatever goes wrong is somehow your fault. And I remember when I woke up abruptly. And my heart was racing and felt like out of its chest. My breathing was rapid, deep gulps that stung my lungs like I hadn't been breathing for a minute. My joints slightly stiff, and I was trying to process, what the heck was that? And oh my God, I just died. It's one of those days where it's the difference between a dream and actual death. And once I was able to compose myself, because I did start crying afterwards, I didn't want to be here. I didn't want to continue. And so finally, after I gathered myself, I went into my mom's room. Mind you, it's around 2:30 a.m. or so. And I woke her up, and I'm just trying to get a little bit of love, a little bit of guidance, maybe even a hug. The children don't just stop loving their parents. Even if abuse is all they know, they still try. They still try to be good enough. And so I told her what happened. And per usual, she basically told me to go back to sleep, that it was just a dream, that I don't know what I'm talking about, and she has class in the morning, so how dare I wake her up with this foolishness. I left her bedroom feeling rejected, dejected, unwanted. The next 2 decades, I spent every morning when I woke up either depressed or angry that I was given the gift of life that day. I don't think there will ever be a day where I won't remember where I came from, but that will no longer dictate who I am or where I'm going. Everyone has a choice. You can either choose the easy path, which is to continue to play the victim, if that's what you're continuing to do. If that suits you, then that's your choice. You can choose to blame others for where you are in life. Or you can take the path that is most difficult, but it also bears the most reward. You can choose to say no more. You can choose to start respecting yourself. You can choose to start loving yourself. Love, true, in essence, self-love does not mean you have to go to a spa and you have to go out and party and you have to do a all girls night, all that. True self-love is setting boundaries. True self-love is learning. True self-love is eating things that nourish your body. True self-love is moving your body in a way that feels good to you. True self-love is being able to give to others without emptying who you are. True self-love is learning what no is, and that no is a complete sentence. True self-love is saying, I do not feel respected by you at this time. Can we please come back to this topic when I feel like I am calmed down enough to have this conversation? True self-love means that you understand your role. And even though things that have happened to you never should have happened, it also means saying that within those moments, and there have been some moments where I have treated others pretty badly because I was caught in my trauma and I was taking it out on someone else. That's not okay. Other people don't deserve the wrath of what they did not inflict. And so it is up to you to make that choice if you are going to make other people bear the punishment for what they do not deserve. And that's difficult to come to terms with. It's difficult to realize that there are things that you have said and done to others when you were within a triggered emotional state, in a heightened, volatile state. Not on something that they said or did, but on something that you remembered from your past, and so you put it on them. And really, it's coming back to who you really are. I feel more worthy today than I did yesterday, than I did a year ago, and I did 5 years ago. I spent 2 years not really doing much of anything, but just languishing within my trauma. Playing a victim. That's how I know how easy it is. And then 3 years ago, I really started to dig deep. And then it was just a year ago, I actually established my LLC. So the worthiness that I didn't feel before, I feel now. And so it's a long road to get to the point where, if you have never really known love, to loving yourself, it's a foreign concept. And I just want to let you know, it's not just women that suffer from that. You know, we have a society that has women and men for some reason pitted against each other. And it's doing a lot of damage to some really good men too. There's a lot of work our society needs to do. And a lot of the pain inflicted on good people comes from people who do not feel worthy. It's because when you feel worthy, you do not feel the need to put other people down. When you feel worthy, you do not feel this knee-jerk reaction of putting venom out into the world. Whether it is through comments on social media, or videos, or face-to-face interaction, text messages, phone calls, emails, any way. If you feel worthy, you do not feel the need to be hateful. Because worthy and love is the opposite of jealousy and hate and all of that. It's two completely different states of mind. So my worthiness has taken me from the knee-jerk trauma reactions of spitting venom out there on social media to building a business around love and unity. And that's something that I offer to everybody, regardless of who they are, where they come from. Because you're human. You deserve it. You don't deserve to be bullied. You don't deserve to be abused. You don't deserve much of what this world has been offering. We can do better. We can absolutely do better. I live it. We can do better, but you have to choose to do better. You have to choose to be better. You are not who you were brought up to be if you choose not to be that person. You have it within you. It's that one choice that you make that can change your life. One choice. And from there, it is a succession of smaller but equally powerful choices. But first you have to choose you. First you have to choose your happiness. And first you have to say, done. I am sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I am worthy of being better.